Gamers, welcome back to Cryptic Gaming. I hope everyone's been having a wonderful weekend. So I've got some information for you here for year three, and specifically season one of year three. Some of it is going to be for all of year three. Some of it's going to be specific for season one. First and foremost, obviously everyone wants to know, is it going to be worth coming back for season one? I believe it will be, and here's why. If you've been waiting for the Galleon class ship like I have been since year one, uh, you are going to be super excited for the Galleon to come out. Now, we're going to go over some of these specs of this ship here as well. Enjoy the little clip we put up here. Here's what we know about what the ship will look like so far. You're going to have 4 weapon ports on the bow. You're going to have 17 on each broadside and 2 on the rear, and of course those 2 auxiliary slots. Now this is going to be a short range specialty DPS ship, meaning that you're going to be using it to ram, and you're actually getting a perk on your demi cannons for this ship, where instead of 17 for a broadside, you can actually get a 34 strike off of it. Now with that 34 strike, can we use the Phoenix Talons to get that 18 strike and compound on top of that and stack? I've not heard anything yet. I have a few folks that have been sending some information in. They're going to do some testing on that, I believe, and we should be able to get that back to you. But at the very least, we're going to be able to find out for ourselves here in year 3 of season 1. So I know I'm looking forward to that. Now, we're going to see a refocus of the game mechanics in this thing. Obviously, the ships, they will still upgrade 7 levels. For those who don't know what that means, it means you will be able to go to the shipwright and upgrade your ship up to level 7 of 7. Now, once that happens and you start to upgrade your weapons, because we're going to see a tier 3, tier 4, and tier 5 come into the game, which is going to offer those items to do a mythic unlock on our weapons. So it'll be Vikram. We're going to see your Kraken, and for sure your Lepest. They will have mythic levels, and you will be able to drop an item and come over here and do your mythic unlock on your weapons and your armor, guys. Now, what level will that bring you to? It's going to bring you up to a pretty good level, but it's not the only way you're going to be able to level your character and your ships up. It's been confirmed that you can get up to level 24. Sounds like it's potentially up to level 30. That hasn't been confirmed yet, but that is what it is sounding like so far from some of these testers here that we've been hearing from. So that's going to be pretty awesome for that attribute on the game. Now, when you start looking at tier 5 is going to have level 30 ships. That's pretty impressive in some ways. Doesn't sound like our faction wars is getting anything to it, at least in season 1, though. It sounds like it's pretty much just sitting stagnant, flopped. Hopefully they'll give this thing some love here. I know a lot of folks are hoping to see this become more of a PvP, or at least see some PvE expansions coming into it. I know myself, I would really like to see some of that coming in there. Unfortunately, that doesn't seem to be the case right now, at least from what it's sounding like. It also doesn't sound like we're getting anything added to the end game, other than obviously we're going to be able to get a higher level ship, potentially up to level 30, for sure up to level 24. We're going to see some new, I say new, it's just going to be basically a increase of damage output and an increase of leveling of the enemy ships in here as well. So nothing real major on that attribute or that front, but it does sound like there are actually 4 large ships planned for year 3. So that's going to be fantastic to see what they have. I know for me, Gallion sounds great. I know all of us are really waiting for a Man of War to enter into the game, so hopefully that's something that we will see. Now, it does not sound like there is any, at least from what we're hearing so far, any expansion of the map planned, and I think that's a mistake on their behalf. We'll have to wait and see, obviously, whether or not that happens, but from what it's sounding like right now, they're just focusing on the base mechanics of the game for year 3. Now, for those of you who are wondering, what exactly does that mean for us? Well, basically what we're looking at is a third year of some content. There's no confirmation of hand-to-hand combat coming into the game. There's no confirmation of the officer system that we were looking at or anything like that. All we're seeing right now is the ability to increase your ship through a mastery system. And if you're wondering what that mastery system is going to look like, from what I'm hearing, that mastery system is going to be, pretty reminiscent of what we're seeing with the seasonal journey, where you come in, you do some journey points, and you can upgrade the things that you want. If you use a lot of piercing, you can boost that. If you use, burning resistances, flooding resistances, and things like that on your ship or whatever, you're going to be able to do some of those things as well. So apparently, that's going to actually start, in that mastery system. It's going to be giving you a higher level on your ship, whatever those features are going to be. That's just going to be featured in that mastery system. So there will at least be that added to the game. But I'm a little bummed out that we're not seeing the promised things that was postponed and canceled out of year 1 and 2. And like I said early on, it's almost kind of like they're just throwing some things out there to make the 3-year subscription, as far as like they had to put out new content for 3 years. And then years 4 and 5, all they really have to do is keep the servers open. So is that what's going to end up happening to Skull and Bones? It's hard to say that. Obviously, we'll have to wait and see what comes along later on. But I was really hoping to be bringing you a lot better news than what we got from some of these tests. But it's still early on. Like I say, the IPP has just started, and there's going to be quite a bit of stuff coming 2, 3, and 4 yet. This is just for season 1 and just a base overview of year 3. So I hope you've enjoyed the video, guys. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't yet, and we will catch everyone later.